Good afternoon. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital Management with a look at the Easter edition of Charts of Interest. I've taken the snapshots of my usual suspects from stock charts on the candle glance feature. I'm using the 50 and the 200-day moving average and MACD histogram as my standard technical indicators. First one, look at Alcoa. So again, the blue line is where we're stocking it, the date of interest, if you will. So it's, we look at just the last day to frame the trade. Green line is the mechanical entry just above the previous day's high. Red line is a nickel below that line. North of that green line is the green zone. That's where we would want to be long. Red line and below is where we'd want to be short or have hit our exit. In the yellow zone, that's an area where we can trade by front running price action. If we see the market's going well and it's moving up well, we may want to get in before the green line, but we're going to be looking at 2-to-1 intraday reward to risk before we do that. And then if it hits the green line, we have an opportunity to get even larger, or just accept that our first entry was a price improvement. So Alcoa looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is take my standard template and then frame this a little more carefully, so you can see we've got 2-to-1 with a target at about 18.5. It wouldn't surprise me if all Alcoa did was just close this gap, so I'm going to put another line in there too. So about 17 3/4. Boeing looks pretty good. Breakout from the previous trading range. It's at a little doji, so we actually have a very small yellow zone. So we could play this one with a pretty tight stop, and I'd look for this 74 to be a support area. But Boeing looks pretty good. Caterpillar had been extraordinary, made this large pullback to 105, found support at the 200. Has had a couple good days in a row, but still has room to go from 110 to about 113 if it breaks north of Friday's price. Cisco found support at 16.5, has made a couple nice dojis in here at 17. Be looking for a breakthrough of its 50, and then a target of its 200, with ultimately testing, looks like about 18.25. I like that on a rebound in technology, which has been doing pretty well this past week. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking my I've got a I have a Snagit frame here, a capture file. I'm going to copy all of those pieces, and now I can take my charts, hit those in, and now I've got a rapid visual frame. That's pretty nice right about there. Chevron looks like about 109 is the target. I don't see 2-to-1 in that one. DBA is the agricultural ETF. Let's see. Looking about 35.5 would be our target. I like this pullback, and now a test of the previous swing high in DBC. That's the blended commodities. That's about 50% energy. EFA has done pretty well here too. It has broken out above its previous high at 62, so it's all systems go in EFA. EPP even better. That's Asia less Japan. That's been the single strongest ETF among the top 10 regionals in the ETF2 model. I like that it's cleared above 50. Any breakout north of yesterday's high is good to go in EPP. Brazil, Not much intraday movement. You can see how narrow the prices have been. It looks to me if it has to clear 80 to be really declared a resumption of its bull. Hewlett Packard, like the rest of tech, has been suffering, but it's giving us a nice frameable trade here. Look at my initial target being 43. ILF is the Latin American ETF. And it has to clear 55 to be as strong. You can see just Latin America has lagged. It has a couple percent to go before it can break out from its previous swing high, whereas EPP has already done that and is well above its last little swing. Looking at set 2. You had to have been in Intel in order to catch this little move here, and 22 remains the target. It's pretty tight, but there's still some possibilities. IWM, the U.S. small caps, Russell 2000 small caps. And it has to clear nice above 85. Johnson & Johnson. I would like to have seen this Friday action take out that big candle's high. It's starting to look a little vulnerable. You'd definitely be chasing if you went after that. You can see all these consumer staples that have been doing very well. Kraft and now and previously Johnson & Johnson. Coca-Cola has been finding support north of 67. That looks very favorable. I would play. That's definitely a breakout that I would chase, even though I can't see 2-to-1 to 68. The fact that it's had this long, powerful move, consolidation, showed an indication to want to keep going, and then has not failed back through 67 or the 50-day moving average. That's a very favorable sign right there. McDonald's, false breakout. We're going to have to adjust that one just a little bit and get that initial stop below the channel here. So I'm seeing support right at the 50-day for McDonald's. MDY, the U.S. mid caps. It also is going to have to get north of 182.5. It has not cleared its previous swing high, as we have seen in other symbols. The good thing is that Friday's price action was such a tight doji that that's feasible. Microsoft has not really rewarded my my interest in it yet. It's going to have to get through 26.25 to really be useful to us. But if it can, it's got a lot of room to go. You can see that. As a tech bellwether, just how much tech has lagged behind the rest of the market. When tech catches up, it should be a nice move. Silver, I mean, what can we say about silver? Just hold your nose and buy it. Nothing else in the database even close to it. Oil has recovered and come back to test 45. The VIX has been come back down to a level where it has found support previously, and that's if SPY does not come through, this is going to be a great move. And then finally, Walmart has been grinding steadily north. Lots of volatility, lots of tradability inside of it. So those are charts of interest. There's quite a few of interest. We've seen some breakouts. We've seen some channel trades. We've seen possibilities for bottom feeding. But we've got a handful of trade frames ready to go for Monday. This is Ken Long from Tortoise Capital. Have a very good weekend and great Easter. Thanks. The last thing I'm going to do on this in my usual way, I'm going to name this COI Charts of Interest 2011, year 2004-24. And this is Chart B. And this one is Chart A. COI Charts of Interest 2011-04-23A, list A. Now we can wish you a happy Easter.